In a world full of ordinary news headlines, only one TV show can predict the future and save the world from quality, accurate news reporting. And there's only one person for the job. You could say that this episode's gonna be explosive.
Hey Tom, did you just record your own voiceover?
No, I did not.
Kinda sounds like you did.
No. This is Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal with this show? That's how out of the present moment society is. I need to know the news of tomorrow, tonight. I don't know what's going on right now. What's happening later?
Well, we need to start the show now.
Let's get started then. Coming up in Tomorrow Tonight, Tim Allen is new fixer for the Liberal government.
This party and this country needs a fixer.
Also, we have panelists to discuss some not well-known superheroes.
I dress up as an old woman.
And finally, politicians have begun starting Kickstarter campaigns for various causes.
I myself have been studying Bill Shorten's campaign. He's going to start up a book of one-liners.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the best future affairs program ever. The show that brings you the news of tomorrow, tonight. Please go crazy for your brilliant host, Tom LaHooray.
Wait, wasn't that your voice?
No.
I did see you in the voiceover booth yesterday, so...
Oh, alrighty. Well, thank you, Josh. We have guests to welcome. Joining us here this evening, we have Megan Richards and Kobe Wheeler. And as usual, the ever-meticulous Josh Walter. And speaking of, what do we got in the way of news headlines?
Wait, don't I get a voiceover intro?
Nope. If you're going to spoil the movie magic, Josh, you don't get one.
Oh, well. In the news this week, Clive Palmer has announced he is renaming the Palmer United Party to the Palmer Party. According to Palmer, the United seemed to confuse the party's members. He said, "We've always tried to keep the word United under Palmer in our documentation, but people didn't understand the symbolism." Stephen Hawking has returned to Australia to give a speech about a new breakthrough in quantum mechanics. Hawking said that this presentation is a must-see for scientifically minded people in Australia. When pressed for specifics, he says his speech will be harder, better, faster, stronger than previous speeches. When asked if he liked French house music, he replied, "Don't be daft, punk." What a man. Sydney trains have received numerous complaints in regards to their often irrelevant audio announcements at train stations. Changes have now been made to reflect these concerns. When a train is due to arrive on a platform, an announcer will simply scream, "Train!" every 10 seconds until said train arrives. A commuter commenting on the new changes said that they were distasteful and insensitive. Sydney store owner Jane Smith is fed up with the prototype robot assistant donated to her by Honda. She claims the robot, who refers to itself as Damo, is lazy and steals money from the register to buy cigarettes. She once saw Damo offering her 12-year-old son a cigarette and telling the boy it was cool and everyone was doing it. When asked for comment, Honda claimed they had never donated a robot to Mrs. Smith. Our investigators have revealed that Damo was actually an opportunistic homeless person who had come by a robot costume. After recent success in discovering life-supporting nitrogen on Mars, the Opportunity rover has made contact with alien life forms living in a hidden cave system. The invasion is imminent. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Josh. I guess you could say that those lines were ahead of their time. Now on to our first story tonight. Tim Allen, star of ABC's Home Improvement and more recently Last Man Standing, has turned down an offer for a position as a fixer within the Liberal Party. He claims the Liberal Party spokesman offered him the role because their other fixer didn't pan out. For more on this story, Liberal Party spokesman John Johnson joins us from Canberra.
It's good to be here, Tom.
So, Mr. Johnson, tell us about what led up to you offering Mr. Allen a position in your party.
Well, Tom, if Christopher Pyne got one thing right, it's that this party and this country needs a fixer. Unfortunately, because he only got one thing right, the party room came to the conclusion that he wasn't the man for the job. So we had a parting meeting, and after we'd finished bickering, name-calling, and of course feeding Malcolm Turnbull's ego so he doesn't stage a coup, we came to the decision that Mr. Allen was the man to get the job done. His combination of conservatism and down-to-earth charisma were the icing on the cake for his ability to fix things, as was demonstrated in his show Home Improvement.
Did you actually watch Home Improvement?
No, but it was popular, so it can't be bad.
But in the end, it turned out that Mr. Allen wasn't interested in the position.
Unfortunately, he wasn't, Tom. He offered a lot of power and a lot of perks. We even offered to create a new season of Home Improvement with the original cast, using the money we planned to take out of education sector. Well, all of the original cast except for Patricia Richardson, who played his wife.
Was she not interested in returning?
Well, no, Tom, but we had to do an efficiency dividend on the show, and it turned out that she might be expensive, giving her relatively success as an actress. Did you know she was on The West Wing? People tell me that it was a good show, but the political stuff goes right over my head.
So what did you do after Mr. Allen turned you down?
Well, we went back to the party room and brainstormed for a bit, and we stuck with the TV handyman theme and came up with some good ideas, like Scott Cam, Rob Palmer, Bob the Builder, but none of them were particularly interested in politics. And apparently, Bob once beat Mr. Abbott in the Speedo modelling contest.
So where did you go from there?
Well, we decided to go with someone from another field.
What field?
Well, I'm not sure how he'd like me to describe it. Well, why don't I just put you onto him and he can tell you himself?
That's not normally how we do things.
It's no bother, really.
But we need to get approvals for...
Thanks for having me, Tom. Thanks.
Mr. Johnson, wait. Hello, is anyone there?
Yeah? Who are you?
I'm Tom Lahure with Tomorrow Tonight. John Johnson put me onto you.
Oh, did he now?
He said the Liberal Party had hired you as a fixer.
Well, I guess I'm going to have a word or two with Mr. Johnson then.
So are you working for the Liberal Party?
Well, I may be providing some services for them.
What kind of services do you... Is everything all right back there?
Back where?
Someone seems to be screaming where you are.
I don't hear anything.
There's definitely something...
I didn't hear anything. Tony, keep it down there, would you?
Is Mr. Rabbit back there?
No, there's just a lot of Tonys in my line of work.
So what services are you providing the government?
Well, as you know, the government has had a few disagreements with the current Senate, particularly the crossbenchers. My main responsibility is to settle those disagreements.
How do you plan on doing that?
Well, I'll just, have a discussion with them. I'm a very reasonable man that way.
What's that you're holding?
Well, this. Well, I call him the fixer. It's my lucky hammer. I take him wherever I go. He always seems to get the job done.
Has that got blood on it?
Well, it looks more like good government to me.
Well, thank you. That's all we have time for. Well, I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to comment on what I just saw there, and I may now have to go do the witness protection program. But while I go and check with the legal department, you can all have a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Tomorrow Tonight after this.